on, everybody? Welcome into Tennessee Football Talk. My name is Joey Petersen. So happy to have you guys joining me on this Friday morning or Friday afternoon, whenever you are watching today's video. We got a ton to get into. We're going to start off by talking last night's transfer portal additions, and we're going to give you the latest on Sam Leavitt, his visit with Tennessee, and what is next for the number one available player in the transfer portal, and then all the latest intel on targets like Chaz Coleman, Amari Campbell, Aaron Scott Jr. It's going to be a busy one. So happy you are with us. If this is your first time, make sure you subscribe. If it's not your first time, if you have not yet, make sure you subscribe as well. It does not cost you a dime. Next up, the road to 12K. We crossed 11.5K last night. Very appreciative for all of you that have joined us. Daily videos 2 times a day during transfer portal season. We're going to start by talking and breaking down last night's additions pretty quickly. Xavier Gilliam, defensive lineman out of Penn State. I love this addition because he's already played for Jim Knowles for a year. And what did we hear the second you made that hire? Jim Knowles is a great defense coordinator, but typically takes a year or two for, his players to get used to his defense, to get comfortable in his schemes. Well, if you add a guy in like Gilliam, he's already played for Jim Knowles for a year. So I think that's a massive, massive help to this defense. Obviously, he's going to have a leg up on everybody else, but I think that's just going to be great for the install, having guys who have played for him before. And with Cooper Ranvier, the kicker out of Louisville, 19 for 20 on kicks under 50 yards this past season. Tennessee needed a kicker. They lost multiple games. Their biggest game of the year on the leg of the kicker. We knew going into the year that this was going to be one of the biggest needs, and he locked up a pretty good one. So really excited about that. Okay, let's talk about Sam Leavitt. As we know, he extended his visit an extra day. Was supposed to leave Knoxville yesterday afternoon, ended up staying all the way through the night into the morning. We also heard last night from On3 that extended stay was to continue doing offensive meetings and also talk financials as well. Brent Hubbs went on with 104.5 The Zone and said, I think Sam Leavitt is going to see Miami. I still think he's interested in seeing what Dante Moore does at Oregon. I'm not saying Tennessee doesn't have a chance there because I think Tennessee has put their best foot forward. I think they'll have a really good NIL opportunity for him as well. But I think it's pretty clear that Sam Leavitt is going through this process because he wants to make sure he sees everybody that has interest in him. If you've got potentially Miami, Oregon, potentially Tennessee, LSU still needs a quarterback. If you've got those four suitors, you've got all the leverage in the world. You don't have to be in a hurry to do anything. You can make as methodical a decision as you want, and you can negotiate and leverage because you've got all the leveraging power right now as a quarterback in the transfer portal. So pretty big update there that he is going to go to Miami. I think another big update right there is what he said about the NIL opportunity. He said they have a really good NIL opportunity as well. Austin Price updated this morning on VolQuest that he believes Tennessee is willing to go all in for Sam Leavitt. Now, what does that mean money-wise? We don't know. I think I'm going to assume it's probably somewhere around $3 to $4 million because Austin Price said a couple of weeks ago he feels to get one of the top quarterback prospects that is what Tennessee is willing to spend. But right now, it's just a waiting game for Sam Leavitt. And that can be frustrating, right, that's the update. But I think it's a pretty big one because we're not going to really know for maybe a week longer. And again, you can be mad about that, but I also know if you or I were in his position or his agent's position, we would be doing the exact same things. Lots of really, really good schools, really, really good programs, they need quarterbacks. Right now, he knows he's not just the number one quarterback available, he's the number one player available in the transfer portal. So he does have all the leverage in the world. Brent Hubbs is 100% right. He would be silly to make an emotional decision and just to commit to Tennessee on the spot because he's going to go on some other visits. We all know Miami. They are not shy to throw out big dollar figures. Paid Carson Beck $4 million. Turns out it was a very good decision as they're in the national championship now, but we know they'll throw out some money. Oregon, they got that Nike money. They will do the exact same thing. LSU, I don't know if he burned a bridge there with Lane Kiffin, with the Damon Williams situation. I kind of feel like he did. Right now, in my opinion, it's really going to be between Tennessee and Oregon and Miami as well. I think LSU is out of it, if I were to take a guess on that. a lot of this is going to come down to what Dante Moore does. Now he's got 5 more days to make that decision. January 14th is when he has to decide whether or not he wants to go to the NFL draft or not. If he did, he'd be QB2. He'd probably, most definitely, almost 100% would be a top 3 pick in the NFL draft. So he'd be kind of silly not to. But also you got to look at it in the sense of, do you want to go play for the New York Jets? Because I wouldn't. But also, if they were paying me $10 million a year, I think I'd suck it up. But again, I'm not Dante Moore. He knows he could make $4 million probably to come back to Oregon. That's all what it's going to come down to. He'll be in Miami this weekend, probably waiting to see if Oregon loses tonight. If they do, he'll probably be in Oregon early next week. Even if they do win, he'll probably be in Oregon early next week. Or at least after the Moore decision is made. So lots to still sit and wait on. Obviously, we wanted the update to be positive. You locked them down. I do think it's pretty big, though, knowing, based on what Brent Hubb said, really good NIL opportunity, what Austin Price said, willing to go all in. I don't know if Tennessee is going to get outspent. Is that the word? I don't know where it is. I don't know if they're going to get outpriced. But Sam Leavitt just might feel like it's better to go somewhere else for his development and for his future in the National Football League. So that's the latest on Leavitt. We'll keep you updated on how his visit to Miami goes. But we know it's just a waiting game. He will take that visit to Miami. But Tennessee willing to go all in for the quarterback. Pretty big news right there. Some other pretty big news. Tom Loy of 24/7 Sports, his sources tell 24/7 that Ohio State cornerback transfer Aaron Scott Jr. is currently at Wisconsin. He is expected at Tennessee next Thursday. He is looking to visit LSU and Oregon as well. Aaron Scott Jr. Was a former 5-star cornerback. He was a guy that Tennessee was actually recruiting in the 2024 class. This would be a very, very big get for the Tennessee Volunteers in that defensive back room. We know they need cornerback help, even though they locked down Kane Lee out of Auburn just yesterday, or 2 days ago, excuse me. This is why you hire guys from Ohio State. This is why you hire that cornerback coach, or I guess he was an assistant at the time, to come and be your new cornerback coach. Because of these connections and these abilities to sway these top prospects, former 5-stars, former blue chippers to come to Tennessee. I'd like to think that Tennessee has the upper hand there just because of the past connections. But obviously, like a lot of this does, it'll come down to being a money game, see where he's going to go and get the most money and have an opportunity to go play. Speaking of money, Chaz Coleman. On 3 updated this morning that the top pass rusher in the transfer portal is coming off a visit to Ohio State. LSU remains a team to watch in this recruitment. Sources tell on 3 that South Carolina held an in-home visit and is working to get Coleman on campus. So we know it's LSU, South Carolina, it's Tennessee. Ohio State is out of it in that update right there. We got the update yesterday from Austin Price that Tennessee is working on getting an in-home visit. So South Carolina's got the in-home. They haven't had him on campus yet. Tennessee's had him on campus. They're about to go do the in-home on him. I really think it's going to come down to those 3 schools. We knew LSU was heavy in the mix from the very beginning. In fact, on Sunday, we didn't even know if Chaz Coleman was going to make it out of Baton Rouge. We thought there was a pretty decent chance he committed right there on the spot. I like the place where Tennessee is in right now. I think going into the transfer portal, everybody thought it was Ohio State and then nobody else. It was Ohio State and then the field. The Buckeyes are out of it. Now you got to go see if you can compete with the big boys, like I said, with the NIL money, with the LSUs of the world. It's going to be interesting to see if South Carolina is going to be able to sway him because think about it. Lenore Sellers is coming back. Dylan Stewart's coming back. Those are 2 guys that are commanding a lot of money, one of them being an edge rusher as well. So how much do they have to pay? We don't know. We know from Steve Wiltfong earlier this week that his price point is probably somewhere around $1.5 million, which I get it. Feels like a lot of money, but you guarantee to have him for 2 years. The production's not there yet, but the projection is. That's what you're paying him for. Damon Wilson, we know yesterday Tennessee most likely to kick the tires on that. He would command somewhere around $1 million. I almost could be more convinced to pay Wilson because you've seen him compete at the SEC level. You've seen him have success at the SEC level. 8.5 sacks from last year for Mizzou. That would be a little bit more intriguing. $1 million for Wilson, then 1.5 for Coleman. But also with the Coleman thing, like I said, you get him for 2 years. Another Penn State, former Penn State player, linebacker Amari Campbell on 3 updated us this morning. The current team to beat in the recruitment is Tennessee. Sources have indicated 2 on 3. He's set to start his official visit with Volunteers on Friday. So that is today. I would not be surprised, and I don't have the inside sources, so don't quote me on this. Don't take it to social media. Would not be surprised, though, if Amari Campbell at the end of this day was a Tennessee Volunteer. Tennessee is the team to beat. He's going to be in Knoxville today. He's played for Jim Knowles, really likes Jim Knowles. Once Xavier Gilliam got locked down last night, Amari Campbell actually took to Twitter about it as well. We also know DeJuan's going to be in Knoxville this weekend, Penn State safety. Look, add as many Penn State players as you can. You already got one on the defensive line. Maybe you get one at linebacker with Amari Campbell. Maybe you get one at safety with DeJuan. Maybe you get one at edge rusher with Chaz Coleman. As many guys who have played for Jim Knowles before, I am very fine in taking. And you need linebacker. Jeremiah Telander is not doing it for me in the year of 2026. He didn't do it for me in the year of 2025 either. I love Perlotti. I love Spillman. You need one more player. That's going to do it for today's show. Appreciate you guys for hanging out with us. Kennedy, anything you would like to add? No. Everybody say hi to Kennedy. Of any of the players we just talked about, who's your guess that they land? Just throw out a position. I know you didn't pay attention to the names. Running back. The running back. We didn't even talk about a running back. She's feeling good about running back. Maybe it's Bryce Washington. Percent chance we land Sam Leavitt. What do you say? Whoa, okay. Kennedy's crystal ball is 84%, ladies and gentlemen. Take that with as small of a grain of salt as you can. Okay, we're going to get out of here. Appreciate you guys for hanging out with us, and we'll see you later today.